Welcome to the Greater Irvine Chamber Business Insights podcast series, where we address challenges and ideas for early stage and entrepreneurial business leaders. Your host today is Dave Coffaro, Interim President and CEO of the Greater Irvine Chamber.
Welcome to the Greater Irvine Chamber Business Insight Podcast. I'm Dave Coffaro and pleased to have you with us today. And as you know, we discuss artificial intelligence every now and again and how to apply that technology to your business. And we think it's so important. It's such an important part of all aspects of business. It's growing, it's changing all the time. So today we're going to delve specifically into a topic that I think is going to be relevant for our whole audience, and that is what every business owner needs to know about marketing and AI. So our guest today is Alex Scoble. He's the managing partner of Westlake Media Labs. Alex, welcome. Thanks for being with us today.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So for starters, would you share a little bit about your background and what kind of services Westlake Media provides?
Sure. So I've been in marketing and business strategy for about 2 decades now. And, we essentially help brands anywhere from a startup to a multi-million dollar corporation scale and grow. My company, Westlake Media Labs, really specializes in fractional CMO services. We offer growth marketing, AI-driven marketing solutions, which allow for businesses of all sizes to really grow, not just their revenue, but their overall market share. We are different than many other firms, aka agencies, because really focus on scalability and efficiency within the organization. And we do that through leveraging marketing strategies with a combination of automation, AI, and other forms of creativity.
So you've been at this for a while, a couple of decades, and what is it that excites you most about the intersection of marketing and AI?
AI has really given smaller businesses an opportunity to compete. It's really transforming the way the operational side of the organizations are developing and coexisting with the new technology. And I think one of the greatest things is that it allows for business owners who don't have the staffing to automate tasks, improve personalization, and allows for the organization, even no matter what size they are, to make smart decisions based off of better informed information from data sets like AI.
So what I hear you saying is that small businesses now can stand shoulder to shoulder as they compete with larger businesses because they can leverage the power of AI. Is that a fair statement?
That's correct.
So one thing that I keep track of is how quickly the technology is advancing. And I heard something actually this morning on the business news, and they were talking about just how much the common tools, whether it's Chat or Perplexity or Claude or some of the others, how much they've advanced just over the past 6 months. How would you describe the current role of AI in marketing, given the resources we have available to us today as small businesses, medium businesses, and really any business?
Yeah. So I think, about a year ago, 2 years ago, AI was just this concept of, this alien technology, right? That business owners would someday encounter. And now it's a reality and it's a necessity, right? So, AI allows for automation. AI allows for large sets of data to be analyzed within seconds and allows for the business owners to make better informed decisions. And it allows for a lot of automation that essentially allows a smaller business owner or startup to not require such a large staff to be able to execute the day-to-day operations of the organizational business model as well as the marketing department. So it's really allowing business owners to leverage the data, customize the data, and create different types of campaigns without requiring a large amount of staff members to execute those campaigns.
Can you share some examples? When you say campaigns, what do you mean? What kinds of marketing campaigns are you thinking about?
Yeah, so email marketing is a great example. Allow paid ad campaigns as well. So with email marketing and AI, you're able to segment real time the data in your CRM, put that into buckets, and create campaigns around those demographics. Paid ad wise, you're able to now have AI assist you with content creation for the paid ad campaign, such as the ad copy and also the landing page creation as well. Not just the design of it, but also the content of the landing page so that the correlation between the ad copy that people see when they're searching online to the actual landing page copy stays relevant and is as tailored to the audience you're trying to target as possible.
So you're using the tools to help you better understand the specifics of your client base, your customer base, and then you're adapting your message and your targets, whether it's email or whatever, specifically to that audience.
Correct.
Okay. And for a small business, that's something that would take a ton of work pre-AI.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of work and also a lot of years of experience, which would require typically a larger staff or a larger budget to hire somebody who has that experience. It doesn't. It's not to say that's going to replace um, a lot of marketers, but I do think that it allows business owners to get a leg up and have a competitive equal playing ground, an equal playing ground for them to be able to go to market and have a chance to gain traffic and acquire sales to the same level that maybe a large organization could in the future.
One of the things I wonder about, Alex, is it's so important for any business to know who their customer is, specifically who their customer is, who most frequently uses their services, who really doesn't, and who might be on the outer periphery. Can AI tools help you sort of zone in on exactly who that is so that you're focusing your energy really tightly and not getting distracted with those who are outside of your strike zone?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can use AI tools to not only do research on the demographic, the zip code, the state, the country, but then provide feedback so it further refines the data. So you can give it more information as to exactly who you're trying to target, give it more specifics, and then you can even upload documents into the AI tool so that you can further educate the algorithm so that it provides better results for you. AI is at an interesting place. It's not this all-knowing being. It's not going to replace humans, but it does allow for businesses to leverage the data, um, insert data, and get an output from it that is more tailored toward what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah,
Think of it
see,
like a personal assistant that is AI based. Essentially, it's like a very quick computer that provides results for you, um, and allows you to expedite the speed of what you're trying to do.
mhm. Yeah, and it seems like the creative element of marketing doesn't go away. In fact, that it probably by using the tools properly, you get more time for the creative work and you have to
Right.
spend less time on more of that sort of repetitive, um, pure analytical work.
Yes. Yeah. Think of it as though you have this personal assistant that is getting you the information that you need to get to that next step, but a thousand times faster than you would maybe 2 years ago. Right. Such as, um, if you wanted to know how to market to, let's say, people in San Francisco and you have a new bakery, um, you're trying to understand what kind of pastries the people in San Francisco may really be, inclined to buy, right? You could do an analysis using ChatGPT, understand, give it input as to what kind of bakery you're starting, where it's going to be located, and do an analysis of maybe a 10-mile radius of that location, that zip code, for it to run some sort of research on what is the most common pastry that people are purchasing in that zip code. From there, then you could determine the demand for that, and then you could do a price analysis on that to understand says what are the people most likely wanting to pay for a pastry that you're looking to offer. And so that thought process that normally goes through your head, but you don't know how to execute, you can use AI to really get those quick answers so you can get to that next phase of the development of that product or of pushing out whatever pastry you're going to be selling through this bakery.
That in itself sounds like it's so powerful. So you can understand the price point, you know your costs. You can say, is this an economically appropriate decision to make
Right.
or not? Right? Do I have to price above market to even be in the market?
Right.
Do you have some other examples of how AI can be used to make better decisions when it comes to your marketing or your business strategy overall?
Yeah. Well, pricing is one you mentioned. The other one is competition, right? So, what are the local competitors? Who are they? And what are their price points? What are they offering? And then you could insert data about yourself and your business, and then run an analysis or SWOT analysis against other competitors in the area to understand essentially how you would be different or what you can do to be different. So think of it almost like a wish list. The AI can be used to really get whatever you want out of it. And it has so much access to information that the information will be found. It's just about how are you asking the questions? How are you prompting it so that it gets you what you want out of it? So really, if anything, it helps you organize yourself a little bit better, right? You can do a simple outline as to all the different things you want to know before you go to market. Or if you're doing market research, what is it that you are looking to find out? Insert that into the prompts, get the results, and then further ask additional questions to understand what else do I need to know so I can make a better informed decision on how to move forward.
One of the things that occurs to me as you say that on the market research front is that's something that sometimes it's easy to think, okay, I did this when I started my company, and forget that that's something that's continually in perpetual motion. There's new competitors, there's new offerings, there's new pricing, and all of that.
Yeah.
And it seems like when you've got the ability to use the tools to be able to do it for you, that can be something you just do it quarterly and repeat it to see what's new, what's changed. So you're always sort of attuned to that strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats when things are changing.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the nice things with these AI tools is that um, you can have different buckets and different projects running at the same time, right? And what that means is that you have projects where you have a competitive analysis project that is ongoing, and you continue to insert data into that project, and the data gets updated, and then you can have it run the same report whenever you want, as long as you keep providing the relevant information you want to get the output you want. And so it makes it really nice so that it's set as a routine for yourself and as a quarterly task for yourself. But in the process, you're learning and you're modifying and updating the reports you want, which makes it really nice as far as staying relevant, staying in the know of to what may be changing in the marketplace, and then adapting your business model to that.
One of the things that concerns me a little bit for our members, whether they're small, medium, large businesses, is just in the last 12 months, or if you go back 24 months, how much the application of AI has evolved. And it's, for a lot of business owners, we sort of take a, well, let's wait and see how this plays out perspective. We're kind of past the point of waiting, but what are the risks for businesses that delay adopting AI in their marketing strategies?
I think the biggest risk is losing relevancy. If competitors are using AI to create better customer experience, improving their targeting, optimizing their ad spend, or even, you know, creating content, and you're not, you're really at a disadvantage. And it's not to say that you're going to take everything that AI gives you and post it or use it, right? But it allows you to go from step one to step maybe 5 or 6 within a few seconds, and allows you to run that much faster to make better informed decisions. But if you're a startup or you're a small business owner, what's important is to not be afraid of using AI and instead leverage the tools to your advantage and leverage the tools to suit your organization so that you can move more efficiently and make not only look at the data, but use the data for your advantage.
I think about something we talk about often, which is, especially with small businesses, the ability to work on the business, not just in the business. And that efficiency that you're talking about, I think creates an opportunity for business owners, business leaders to be able to spend more time working on their business and just sort of frees them up So you touched on this a little bit, but I want to go a little bit deeper. How is AI enabling personalization at scale, and why does this matter for customer engagement?
Yeah. So, AI really allows you to analyze customer behavior in a real time setting, right? That means that it really allows for business to deliver a personal experience at a larger scale. Touching back on email campaigns, AI allows for email campaigns to be tailored dynamically uh, for the audience that you're trying to target. Same thing with ads, right? And so if you're looking at ad copy and how it's going to target a particular demographic, it can run the analysis of the market, understand what kind of semantics based off the region, what kind of messaging resonates with that audience, and, and then find competitors that are using similar ads to run an analysis, feed that back into your project, and then adapt your targeting so that you can really engage with the customer more efficiently. Same thing with email. You can run analysis on essentially who's in your database, how they came in, look at the ad copy that brought them into the CRM, and find a way to engage with them a little more efficiently and a more personal level in real time using the real time data, and then send out email campaigns to them that resonates to their emotional side and or their transactional side.
Is email still relevant in an era where social media gets so much attention?
It is not so much for inbound traffic or inbound acquisition, but for nurturing in the entire lifetime cycle of that particular lead or a particular client. So you have the entire, the funnel from start to finish, right? The acquisition funnel essentially can be anywhere from paid ads to organic to social. You acquire that particular lead, for example, they get into your CRM, and in the CRM, they may convert to a paying client or they may not. If they're in the CRM, you still have to activate them. You have to engage with them, right? And that's where AI comes into place, where it can look at the data of existing leads in the system, understand how they came in, understand if there's some sort of personalization that can occur for that lead, for them to engage with you again, to convert them essentially in the future at some point.
So you've talked about a lot of the activities that you can use AI tools for. What kinds of repetitive tasks can automation streamline, especially when it comes to your marketing activities?
Yeah. So for streamlining, I say lead scoring, there's social media content creation, social media scheduling, customer support via chatbots, and any kind of thought leadership content pieces that you want to write. It can be a draft and allows you to essentially have this content created within seconds and the automation done within seconds. And that allows you to free up your time to then run different types of tests, right? To do an A/B split, do multivariate testing, and doesn't require an assistant or someone in your organization to do this for you, which can take, days, if not weeks.
So can you go a little bit further into that? So, and let's just pick on a couple of the popular tools, whether it's Chat GPT, Claude, Perplexity,
Mhm.
whatever others are using. How can somebody use those tools in creating content and perhaps even storytelling?
Sure. So let's look at social media, right? Let's say that you start off with a content calendar, the concept, and some people may not be familiar with that, what that is. But a content calendar essentially organizes your organization to create content around some sort of theme. So if you are let's go with a bakery, right? We talked about the bakery earlier. So you're a bakery and you have a shop in San Francisco. You want to show content uh, uh, related to the pages you have. So that includes the content will include videos of the store, videos of the pastries. It can be photos of the pastries. It could be celebrity diners, right? And all these people will require videos, photos, which means then need that posted on different channels such as Facebook, whether it's and Instagram, whether it's Twitter, right? So you have the content creation aspect, which takes time and effort. Not just the photographs of the videos, but then what do you say when you tag that? what do you say that when you post it? So you can go into Chat GPT, for example, say, look, here's all the photos I have. I have uploaded them, create some sort of caption for them and or content for Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. It'll then spit that out for you in whatever format you want. You can even be specific about how you want this in an Excel file, or you want it for a Google Sheet file, you want a CSV file, you want it a Word doc file, whatever you want. It will then package it all together so you can download it. You can then give that to your social media marketer if you have one. And if you don't, you can then take that and find a way to automate that into the portals, right, or the channels, and post it automatically using the automatic scheduler. um, Once it is posted, you can then find a way to analyze the results from those posts in terms of engagement. How many likes did you get? Did you then look at the CRM? Did you get any actual conversions, any sales, right? Look at your analytics. Did you get any kind of traffic from those posts, right? And then start analyzing the results of your campaign so that you can be more effective with it.
All actionable steps that our audience can put into practice now. So let's talk through that, take that a little bit further. What are some other practical steps that business owners can take right now to start incorporating AI into their marketing? You talked about one, content generation,
Mhm.
whether it's papers or social media posts or whatever else. So what other things are on that list?
I think the most important part would be to just automate your current marketing process and see where there's something that's stuck. All right. What does your pipeline look like? And then where are you having difficulty executing? So if you start with a small business, you can look at the simple things like content creation, which typically is the most time consuming for a lot of business owners because they don't have time. They're working. Let's look at medical offices, right? A doctor is is working. The office manager is dealing with patients. Most typically, they don't have a social media or a marketer, or they don't have a marketing person at the company, so they hire an agency. But the agency may or may not um, know how to market to that audience. So instead, what is most efficient for those practices is for somebody in that organization to give the parameters of what they're trying to market, right? And based off the specialty of the medical clinic, let's say it's plastic surgery, right? Having a content calendar created around the different products or services they provide, and then feed that into the AI system, coming up with a content calendar from Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday based off different themes, such as if it's a plastic surgery center, let's say that it's something related to Botox, let's say something related to actual surgery, whether something related to some sort of light enhancements. Um, the content calendar will then create that content for you. You can tell it how long to create the content for. And then from there, it can even give you the tags per channel, per marketing channel. You then download that, and then you either have the AI tools create the images for you, or you can use third-party tools to type images to that. You now have a content calendar for your medical clinic that you can actually deploy either manually or use AI tools or automated tools to deploy it for you. Um, and then from there, you have additional AI enhancements you can use with a CRM, right? That you're using to be able to do the scheduling. And then, going further, we can talk about AI agents, which can then actually call the patients to actually book the appointment. And then when people call the actual medical clinic, they can actually respond, change the appointment, and or provide information for the patient looking to actually come in for the appointment they've scheduled. So there's a lot of things you can automate in the process. Just depends on the level of commitment you have, right, to educate the model and or leverage the tools so that you can run a very efficient practice.
I hope our doctors, dentists, attorneys, accountants, who all have practices that sort of fit the profile you just described, Alex, are listening closely because that's really powerful, very powerful steps. One of the things that is so fascinating is how quickly AI is changing. What's the best way for our audience to stay informed about what's new, what's changing, and what does it mean to them?
You know, everyone is talking about AI. There's a lot of different places you can look. I think that, OpenAI AI's blog is a good one. There's Marketing AI Institute. I think HubSpot has an AI report too. There's different conferences. But really, I'd say that the best way to learn about it is to just use it. So I would tell everybody just log into, use whatever you feel comfortable with. Start with ChatGPT, play around with it, give it different prompts, start feeding it information that you feel is appropriate and you feel comfortable with so that it can learn, and just start testing. The first step is just a test, and it's always the scariest place because typically you don't know how to start, but just start. And the more you play around with it, the more you'll learn the quirks and just have fun with it. I mean, you can even use it to write poems. No, you can use it for proposals, for wedding vows. I mean, you name it, right? So you can play around with it and have fun with it. I think if you play around with it in a non-business manner, you might have more fun with it too, because you can not feel as intimidated by it. But
Right.
the reality is, the more you use it, the more you know how to ask and how to refine your questions, the better results you're going to get.
So, speaking of the intimidation factor, for our listeners who haven't yet introduced AI into their business, or maybe they're still early in the journey, what are the top 2 or 3 takeaways you want folks to get from today's podcast, Alex?
I think the first one would be that, AI isn't just an assistant. It's not a replacement. Yes, there might be things that AI can do a lot faster, right? But it's really a tool for the business owner to make it a lot more manageable to run a business and stay competitive with those that are larger. I don't think you have to start big. You can always start small, but just start, right? Kind of like I mentioned, just start. If you don't want to use it for business and you don't feel comfortable, that's okay. But use it for something so you become familiar with the interface, because it's not going to go away. It's only getting more and more complicated. And we could talk about this later, but personal assistants are going to take over a lot of things. And it's happening already, and it's not going to go away. So the more you become comfortable with the way that you have to search and or use AI as an assistant, the faster you learn, the better it's going to be for you. And I think, lastly would be that data is always king, right? And if an AI agent and or AI can give you the data you need to make better informed decisions, then why not do it? Because everybody else is.
That's what we want for all of our members. Make the best decisions for your company possible. Before we close, do you have a favorite tool?
I like ChatGPT. I mean, there are other tools, but for what what my agency needs, it's been great. But it's not to say that tomorrow I won't find something a little more efficient.
Yeah.
But I'd say start with the simple things. ChatGPT is great, and it's very easy to use.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other great tools out there that, depending on what you need.
The one thing, and there are a lot of great tools, and I use a number of different ones. One thing I like about chat is in the paid version, you can get a bunch of different GPTs. So if you're
Yeah.
writing a script for interviews, for job interviews or something like that, there's a tool for that. If you're doing PowerPoint presentations, there's a tool for that. If
Yeah.
you're doing cash flow analysis and you're doing Excel spreadsheets, there's a tool for that. So, but it's whatever works best. So Alex, with that, thank you so much for sharing your insights. Very engaging conversation. And thank you for the actionable insights you gave our audience, things they can put into practice right now. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, folks, thanks so much for joining us today. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for joining us for the Greater Irvine Chamber Business Insights podcast. To stay informed about upcoming podcasts and other important business news, please subscribe to our channel or check the Greater Irvine Chamber website.